Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sons of Liberty podcast. I'm your host, King Chao, the ultimate letdown. That's my new catchphrase. It's gonna stick. Trust.
No, he's not a letdown. Let's uplift King Chao today, guys.
What? No, see, when you say that, it makes me sound like I'm just like begging for attention. No, never.
But you are though.
Yeah, he's a woman.
Oh no!
What is a woman, really?
A woman
that's
is
like a perfect tie back to one of our
With,
old podcast
like-
episodes.
no. I can't say what a woman is because then I'll get canceled. You know.
No, yeah, you can.
When have
Say
you
it.
ever been afraid of being canceled in the Sons of Liberty podcast?
All right. A woman is a biological female.
But what is a biological female, though?
A human that has feminine genitalia.
No. So a woman has.
What is femininity?
No. Let's not get into that because realistically, well, a woman has two X chromosomes, while a male has an X and Y chromosome.
But what about
That
people
is what
who
makes
have
a-
like different chromosomes?
Shut the fuck
That
up,
means they have Down syndrome.
That's not,
bro.
that's kind of
those-
how it works, but like not
Those people
really.
got like the 24th chromosome pack, bro.
No, okay,
Bro,
Shut
like,
the
guys,
fuck
They're your
guys,
up,
homie
bro.
with extra
listen.
chromie, bro.
Look. Okay, here's the thing. I did some research on this. Okay, it's actually not necessarily the chromosomes, although that is a factor.
How is it?
Okay,
How
you
is
want to
it
know what
not?
it is?
I swear, if you bring up some bullshit LGBT,
Bro.
mental
No,
illness,
I won't.
bro.
Bro,
Dude, it's
woman
me.
is adult human female.
But what the fuck is
End
a
of
female,
discussion.
though? Okay,
Bro.
okay. If your definitions are circular, then you're just
It's not a
as
circular
bad.
definition.
Yes, it is, because you
How's
can't
it circular?
define what an adult human female is.
Hear me out. You look
You
down your
said define
pants
a
and see what
woman.
happens, bro.
Yes.
And then I
And
said
you
adult
say,
human
like,
female,
yo,
and
but
then you
then
said
what
define
is-
adult human
what
female.
is a female?
Female,
woman has a
XX
vagina,
chromosome.
bro.
Oh my
Woman,
god! But the thing
vagina,
is,
XY
the thing
chromosome.
is, there's the bullshit in betweeners with the chromosomes. So
Those
that logic
aren't
isn't
fucking
perfectly sound.
women.
But they're not men either. So what are
Yeah,
they?
so they're like a weird category that doesn't exist.
But I mean, it clearly does exist because they exist.
Nah, they should be.
Okay, that's wild. That's wild. Welcome back to the Sons of Liberty podcast. Welcome back.
It's like
everybody.
furries. They don't have rights, you know.
No, okay, hear me out, right? I have a definition that doesn't have anything to do with the cringe LGBT
Shut
bullshit,
the fuck
but isn't circular.
No, I want to hear him
It's
out. I
not
want to hear him out. I
circular,
want to hear him
okay?
out. I want to hear him out. I want to hear him
It's
out.
based. It's based on. So
But it's not boosted though.
okay, you guys know what a gamete is, right? It is.
Nah.
It is a specialized type of sexual reproductive cell. Sperm, egg, pollen, ova, that shit, right?
Okay.
Right? Okay.
Okay.
They are categorized in nature into two groups. One
Okay.
is a small gamete, and one is a large gamete. The large gamete contains the stationary biological data that just sort of gets infused, gets impregnated, right? And the small one contains the mobile genetic material, which impregnates, right? So it is the impregnator and it is the impregnatee, right?
Okay.
Small gametes, large gametes, male, female. It works for literally every single animal on Earth except for like seahorses, I guess.
Okay.
And you know some
I'm
like
gonna be
weird,
real,
like,
Chow. That's exactly what I said, bro.
no, but it isn't. But you said
I said
you
a person with
chromosomes.
feminine genitalia.
But what the fuck is feminine though, right? You gotta be
Have
more specific.
ovaries, bro.
You gotta be more
Ovaries,
specific.
ovaries. You
All right.
don't.
You see, the flaw in your explanation, KYKA, is you saying you use the word feminine. There's no such thing as that, because it's bullshit
Sorry.
America.
Human with ovaries. How about that?
Exactly,
Let's
they have-
boil down women to their fucking genitalia.
Okay,
I
no,
like
but here's
this.
the thing, right? Here's the thing,
Vagina.
right? If you are a
Pussy.
quote unquote ovary
The
person,
coochie.
you are a
The
woman.
box.
And that comes bundled
The
together
cave.
with all of the femininity
The
and all of
shell.
the traits that make it a woman. So it's
The
not
whole.
boiling them down to their genitalia.
The donut.
That's
It
hole.
really
just-
is.
That's just the deciding factor. But
the
everything
flesh
else on
wound.
top of that is the
The,
experience, the qualia of being a woman.
The deep cavern.
You're just talking about things you never get. We should probably talk about our topics now.
Okay, speaking of stuff we don't get, we do not get Joe Biden in our state of
Shut
California.
the fuck up, bro. Why didn't you just say you don't get Joe Biden's decisions? Like, why you be so complex about it? Like,
Because we
oh,
gotta make it.
you make transition so like autistic and shit, dog.
Speaking of autism, Joe
52
Biden.
episodes left.
No, you could have been like, bro. Speaking
I
of
only
fucking
need to
mental
do this 52 more
illnesses,
times. And then
Speaking
it's
of mental
over!
illness, Joe
And then it's
Biden.
over!
yeah, then we get Chao 2.0. That's fine.
That's when he comes out as straight.
Bro, I already had my straight arc in July.
No, but
Didn't
it's like
last
for
very
100,
long,
like for
That's like
100 episodes.
yeah.
100
Yeah,
episodes of not so. Nah, couldn't be me.
Nah, you have to do straight. You have to do
It's
straight.
like he alternates, 100 episodes of
Uh,
gay, 100 episodes of straight, 100 episodes of
I mean,
gay.
I don't-
like
like a
I
trans
don't-
person, they keep flip flopping.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna be. What is D trans? It's like D gay. I'm gonna be D
D-gay.
gay.
He's gonna be reformed.
Guys,
He's gonna be correct.
Bro, I'm gonna be religious. I'm gonna
He's gonna go to those religious concentration camps where they try to
What
get the
what
gay out of you.
fuck?
No, they're not religious
You
concentration.
mean
They're
conversion therapy camp.
Conversion
Exact-
concentration camps.
no,
yeah.
they're not conversion therapy. They're
By
conversion
the way, guys, conversion therapy does not work. For all of the people in our comments,
they do work.
no, they fucking don't. You're coping.
Yeah, you see, the ones that don't work, they get killed, so it doesn't affect the stats.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
How are we still allowed on the internet? Like,
Well,
Hey,
because
just for the record, I'm not for conversion therapy. Let's make that very clear.
why
that's
why
what
not?
I just said. I just said that it doesn't fucking work, and it's not good. Even if it
It's
did work, it is inherently violatory for the autonomy of the person, which you don't give
Well, I
a
don't know
fuck
about
about
that.
because you think that like being gay is inherently immoral, but that's like besides.
Okay, regardless.
Can we talk about Joe Biden already? Goddamn.
Joe
Um,
Biden.
So there's two things regarding Joe Biden on the chopping block today. The first one is the economy being in a shitter.
Which we've
Um,
mentioned for like 10 episodes, but it is worth repeating because holy fuck, it's bad.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys realized recently, but gas prices have been going like up recently.
Yeah.
Hella a lot. Anyways, that's just like an off-topic thing. The main topic is inflation. So the core problem with inflation is that the feds keep on raising the interest rates, and they don't want to push them down. So a lot of economists are saying, "Hey, we won't have a soft landing because if you keep on increasing the interest rates, then the economy is going to crash." And what's happening with the increasing the interest rates is bonds are starting to come out of favor, because this is how essentially bonds work. As the feds increase the interest rates, the bonds' interest rates actually go up. So if you buy a bond now, and you expect bonds to get a higher interest rate in a month, well, then your bond is going to be seemingly worthless in a month's time. So that's why a lot of corporations and a lot of companies that hold a lot of assets are deciding to sell bonds. And when a lot of bonds flood the market, generally that's not good. I wrote a little analogy on the script. Imagine you're a corporation, and imagine this corporation, for whatever reason, it doesn't really make sense, but it's the hot topic right now. iPhones are assets, and they store wealth like that. So imagine you bought 100,000 iPhone 14s.
Which of course is ironic considering, you literally got a new iPhone every single year. It's probably the least stable technological good you could think of, but
Right.
sure.
Imagine your corporation, you bought 100,000 iPhone 14s 3 weeks ago. Well, if you don't know, about a week or two ago, the iPhone 15th launched. So what's going to happen to your new iPhone 14s that you just bought? Well, the value is going to go down, and your assets are going to be worth less. And that's essentially what's happening in the bond market. Because the Fed keeps on increasing the interest rates, the old bonds are becoming worthless, and then the new bonds are out competing those. So the bonds have to be sold at a loss. That's the first topic for Joe Biden, and he's not directing the
was it?
Fed. That's it.
Damn.
This seems like a small topic, but this is a really big issue.
No, I wasn't saying that it was small. It was just like it was quick. It was kind of one and done,
Yeah, so this is how Silicon Valley actually ended. We talked about the bank. That's how they ended pretty much.
Silicon Valley finally fucking defunct?
Well, that was a while ago, but yeah. That's how they defunct because of bonds.
How long ago?
Like 4 months ago probably.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So they defunct because they were holding a lot of bonds, and a lot of investors or people who had money in the bank, they wanted to pull out their money, but because of a lot of their money was in bonds, there wasn't enough liquidity, so they
Mm,
couldn't actually give the money to the people who hold their money in the bank. Regardless,
damn.
the second topic is a bigger issue. That's the border. I'm sure everyone's been seeing a lot of the news, highest illegal immigration numbers ever this year, especially. We essentially have an open border, but the Biden administration is kind of taking this weird position where, because Donald Trump, he's evil orange man. You cannot have a wall in a Joe Biden presidential administration, right? Because that's not allowed at all.
I mean, did Joe Biden literally talk about like building a wall on the southern border in like 2022 or 2021?
It's hard to say because he's flip-flop on the position so much.
Well, right, because he doesn't
But-
remember half of the things he says.
Right, but the public position is we cannot have a wall because that is racist and evil and racist
Right.
and also racist.
Because God forbid we have any amount of border security or strength whatsoever. Because that means we
Yeah.
just hate all the people immigrating into America. Because
Right,
obviously
Oh,
we're
yeah.
so heckin' racist.
right, because the border wall has a mouth, and the border wall tells the fucking illegal immigrants that they're beaners, because that's how it works.
down with the beaners. Down with the beaners.
Yeah.
Down with the. That's what
Yeah,
the
nah, friendly fire will not be tolerated.
Why? Nah, it's the wall saying,
Why?
bro. It's literally the wall, bro. It's
Uh-huh,
like,
Yeah,
bro,
that's why it's racist,
the
Just
wall
tells them
sees
they're
the
beaners.
tacos and it's like, yo, back the other way, pal. Back the other way.
Even though there
Yeah.
are plenty of those on the other side, just saying.
Not good ones.
Okay, facts.
Actually, no. But the only good ones are made by
Like
Hispanic.
Taco Bell,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah, it's
No,
so ass,
no.
bro.
Oh, El Pollo Loco, I got you.
Oh, that's ass too. Every time I have that place,
Oh, Del Taco, I got you.
oh, even worse, bro. Let's get it.
No,
Oh,
okay,
you talking about
okay,
Chipotle?
honestly, okay, side note. Del Taco
Chipotle's
is
so
fucking
ass.
terrible. It's not even mid, it's
know.
just bad.
It is.
It's
It is
bad.
terrible. No, it's just terrible. It's not
Only
Only
even
saving
terrible.
grace is their lean.
Okay,
No, I don't
at least
understand.
Taco Bell makes like visually appealing food that tastes okay and then just
They
makes
do?
you fucking sick.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, they do.
do?
But like the thing
No,
is, okay,
I
but the thing is,
disagree.
Del Taco's food, it looks mid, it tastes either mid or terrible or both, and then it's just like you forget about it because I don't know who decided how their setup would be over there at Del Taco, but like, look, this okay. I fully admit this is going to be a fat ass moment, but their portion sizes are fucking tiny. I am not
Well, that's-
insane when I say that. I am
Bro.
not crazy. Like back me up here. Like,
No, I don't. I've never had Del Tacos since I was like little because I got
Dude,
sick.
I
so
don't.
never had it.
I don't
I
think I've had
think
Del
if
Taco
you're-
like that.
I haven't
Just
had it in a
elite.
while either. But like, if you're anywhere over the age of like 11, you should not be having a Del Taco because that's just ass.
No,
Literally
see,
go
Del
anywhere
Tacos
else.
fire drinks, so their drinks are fire though.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they convert from tacos to like drinks because like their drinks like.
There's
But
Lean,
honestly, they should have like a rebrand then because like this is.
I think they should like go pick up and never come back.
That's
you know
what
what?
I'm saying.
I think Jack in the Box has replaced Del Taco's place.
Yeah,
I have-
okay,
it's like
Jack in the
tacos?
Box
Yeah.
kind of slap though. Not gonna lie.
I've never had
tacos?
Jack in the Box, so I don't know.
The tacos are pretty good, but
Really?
like they
Honestly,
they
the
taste
tacos
like
are
how they're
pretty,
expensive.
They're pretty mid to be.
Aren't they like
honest.
$1 though?
they're $1, yeah. So they taste like the price, you
No,
know.
okay.
But
The thing
it's
is,
good
like,
for the
yeah,
price.
like they're crunchy and like that's kind of good, but then it's like
Nah, bro.
I don't know the lettuce. This is a food review channel now. Obviously, we're supposed
like,
to do
what-
politics.
section, dude?
If you go to Mexico, right, there's not really lettuce in tacos.
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, it's
So, like,
pretty
I don't
much
know
just
where it
like
came-
meat, onions, and seasoning, right? Like,
No, so it's just meat, and then you can add like cilantro salsa or anything you want. But the taco is just meat in the tortilla.
fucking like tomato paste in my fucking like taco. I think I'd rather kill myself.
See, I don't understand why. I think it's because burgers were lettuce, meat, and tomatoes and cheese, right?
That
So I
makes
think that's what
sense.
they Americanized the taco to look like a burger.
Yeah, but
You know
I
what's
mean,
the
like,
most- No, you know what the most
but
Spanish food
burgers,
is?
burgers are like W
Burritos.
tacos, so I mean, that's not
Burritos
Burritos
are
are the most
actually-
Spanish food ever,
But
guys.
they're made in Texas, though.
Guys, we all agree burritos
But
are
they
definitely the
were
most
they were
Okay,
made
you know
in
what?
ever.
I'm gonna be honest.
they,
Okay,
they,
the
they
thing
were
is,
founded in Texas.
I've never once in my life, you know, it's the clear white boy showing, right? I've never once given a fuck in my life about how authentic like the Mexican food that I was eating was. If it
Really?
tasted good, that was the only thing that mattered.
The thing is, right, for me, like, if it doesn't taste good, like, I know not to go there. Like, Chipotle, trash.
Yeah, no,
Del
That's a
Taco,
Chipotle is fucking
lie.
ass.
You
No,
guys are fucking
Kill
delusional.
yourself.
no, see,
Kill your-
Chipotle is overpriced. Like, it's
It is
okay,
overpriced, yeah.
YouTube
but it's
bot.
not worth the
YouTube
price.
bot. I am making active threats of violence. Take down our channel. I am making threats of violence.
Why would we get taken down? That's like the most mild thing we've ever said is talk about food and how shit it is.
No.
Why
Okay,
would we
I got you. I
Bro,
got
we've
you.
literally talked about Hitler, Jews, the Chinese, like,
This is
out of
gaslighting.
all
This is gaslighting.
these-
Okay,
No,
here's
out
the
of
Sons
all
of
the
Liberty.
Not
Listen,
strong
listen.
enough, man. Come on.
Out of all these things, the
Threats.
hating on Chipotle is gonna get us like the most hate. Yeah, hating on Chipotle.
Yeah,
It's
not the
gonna
Kid
get-
Rock video.
Not the Kid Rock video. Not.
We get comments to this day about the Kid Rock video, by the way. So thank you for the support, guys. We really appreciate it. Well, you know, we have such positive reviews on the
I
fucking
wonder how many
video.
people like unironically think that we're anti-Semitic, like in the
Even though we have a
podcast.
Jew on the podcast. that's
Yeah,
kinda
right.
funny.
Literally 1/3 of the podcast.
I like how we covered all our bases. You know, we got me, a Hispanic,
not
got,
all of our bases,
you know, KYKA, who's like Jewish, and we got you, who's Italian.
and gay,
We got like the
And
dirty
gay,
whites.
yeah, I
The
forgot.
dirty whites, yeah.
and
gay.
body positive, body positive.
Oh, and a furry.
Yeah, for you
No,
trans.
I don't know about that one, man. I don't.
Oh, I saw the fursuit.
That's wild. Okay.
It's in your closet.
Alright,
No, it
let's
isn't. Keep capping.
Alright, so this
What were we
person
talking
named
about? No, we're talking about Chipotle. Shut the fuck up. So back to Chipotle, right? Bro, they're so overpriced. The meat is so tough, and like the burritos,
Yeah.
like
Alright, you just haven't been to
honestly,
a good Chipotle.
there is one word that I would describe.
bro,
all
take me to a
fucking
good
food
Chipotle, bro.
from Chipotle.
Alright,
And that word
there's
is
one.
dry.
I won't say it, but like,
It is dry
No.
as hell.
Say the address right now, out loud.
Yeah. Would you mind just like saying the address for that
To the
Chipotle? Just
Chipotle.
address is your mom's place.
no,
Alright,
no.
boys.
Start listing
Well,
numbers.
like,
Come
can I
on,
get a
come
street?
on.
Like, for example, let me say this address real quick. Hold
Here,
up.
I'll just put it in the Sons of Liberty
No, no,
chat.
no, no, no,
No,
no,
no,
I'm gonna-
Actually, I have Discord closed right now. I can't see the chats. Would you mind just reading it to me?
yeah, like this.
Bleep that out. Bleep that out.
Like,
Oh,
No.
okay. We're playing with fire, huh? We're playing with.
Yo. you know,
Okay, I see how it
I'm gonna add
is.
a fucking comment about this. I don't
Hey
think
guys,
you're-
look at all this. Look at all this info on Discord. Look at all this.
I already,
Guys.
I
Look at
already said
these.
that. I already
Look
said
at
that.
these, huh?
what?
Wow.
You're not
Wow.
showing
Look at
anything.
these.
You're not-
Look at
you're
these.
not
Look
showing
at all
anything.
this info.
You're not showing
huh?
anything. You're not showing anything.
Yeah, not on your end. Not on your end. Oh, guys, yeah. Look at this Discord server. Look at all these really cool people, huh?
Oh,
Look at all these
You're
really cool
doxing
people.
the server now.
doxing the server. He's doxing the server with all the furries and
Bleep this out, and we're cool. All right.
All right,
So
King
that's what I was
Chao.
saying.
Okay, so this is Sunnyhawkeye's phone number and address.
Bro. Guys,
I think Ari is the only
Alright,
the only one that has an address, bro. Or
guys,
MFA.
guys, if you realize this, all right. So what's gonna happen is if we ever get some sort of notability in the public eye,
Yes.
Move, bro.
somebody's gonna hack our fucking Google Drive and then find out our whole fucking
No, we're-
address, our phone
the one that-
numbers, our fucking Discord server, and we're gonna get ripped, okay?
This is the one.
Wait,
this is the
how
one
the
video
fuck
that
do you
gets
hack a
leaked,
Google
bro.
Drive?
What if one of us has like a weak password, and
I mean,
you know,
I don't have a weak password.
I don't know.
I mean, like I gotta like, I'm not gonna say, but like, you know,
Yeah, can you say your password? real quick?
Yeah. Could you just like list
Can you say
your social security number? You know, just so we can
Yeah.
verify that it's you.
oh yeah, it's
What's the name of
It's-
your first like?
it's
What's your first
420 69
Shut the fuck up.
1000.
God, you're so corny as
That's
hell.
not true. I have it on file, bro. Don't worry.
Anyways,
It's,
guys,
7.
let's talk about something serious, guys.
Oh, it's
we
serious
are.
time.
We're talking about
No,
It's serious
it's
time. Let's talk
serious
about this
time.
comment we got.
What comment?
This woman said.
Why
about
are we
an
calling
Kid
out
Rock
people?
video.
Wait, hold
Why are
on,
we
I'm not
calling
gonna
out
say.
people?
I'm not gonna say the
Who
woman.
who
I'm not
are
gonna say the
What do
woman.
you mean?
on
What
our
do you mean? What a
videos?
comment? Oh, you talking about the
Yeah.
Kid Rock shit?
Yeah, she says these young people are kids. Just by listening to them, the way things are going, they'll grow up real quick. It's sad, really. So thank you, woman.
what?
We really appreciate the comment.
Hey, who says we can't get women like freaking audience?
That's wild.
Our men, we no fuck, I'm retarded. Our viewers are all men. We have women in there.
Bro, do we
There we
Yeah.
go.
We also have comments like "too young, too woke to understand what's going on. You don't get what the message
too
is."
woke?
Overwhelmingly now.
Because woke people hate Jews.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, okay, yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
KYKA, you're out. KYKA, you're out.
We're gonna get
You're not
Jazzy
appealing
Masada.
enough to our
He's
audience.
properly
Mm.
racist towards Jews.
So-
Don't worry.
Yeah, no, trust me, he has experience.
Yeah, Jazzy
Whoa.
Masada is top tier, bro. He literally has the swastika flag in his room.
Okay, let's not go that far.
Jesus
I have a
Christ.
picture. Actually, I have a picture.
Yeah,
Let me
we
get it out.
really could get in trouble for saying some of this shit. Remember last time? Fuck.
Oh,
Speaking
no.
of in trouble, the border's in trouble. You
What?
like the transition?
No,
No.
didn't we just talk about the
Did
border?
yeah,
we just
also,
No,
did
we
just
haven't
talk about
finished
the
it.
border?
We haven't finished
I
it.
mean, we
There's
kind of
like
did, didn't we?
no. There's like irony to this.
an irony, but like
Okay.
Yeah,
already
yeah.
on an iron board, bro. We already have
Bro,
guys,
again
hear
with the
me
fucking
out.
corny joke. Shut the fuck up.
So
Orange
remember
one,
when
yeah.
Joe
Oh,
Biden,
There's a guy selling a look there right now, bro. Got you, don't worry.
guys, Joe Biden doesn't want a border, right? Because it's
Why
like
not?
a wall. Like that's racist. The wall could call beaners.
Yeah,
like,
we
you know what I mean?
know. The wall is
Alright,
racist.
alright.
Get it going.
So
Bro,
also,
bro.
Joe Biden's administration said, "quote There is presently an acute and immediate need to construct physical barriers and roads in the vicinity of the border of the United States in order to prevent unlawful entries into the United States." So they won't say we need a fucking wall, but they'll say we need physical
Wait.
barriers and
Hold on, hold on.
roads.
Also, I love
They're
how they
calling the-
said in
wait,
the
wait.
vicinity because, like,
Yeah,
they
like
can't say on the border. Just
So they're
around
calling
it.
the roads and physical barriers acute? Like acute?
What?
They're calling them cute.
Bro, are you like 7? The fuck? Like, oh, guys, like cute. It almost kind of sounds like cute. Haha. I learned that
No,
from my
it-
8th grade math class.
Math class? You fucking retarded.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I mean, there are
acute
acute
angles,
angles.
on triangles.
Oh yeah, I'm retarded. I'm retarded.
Oh boy. This is really funny.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
Um,
What were we talking about?
that's the thing with Joe Biden. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's it? No, it
That's
has
it.
to be more.
Well, he's been pretty quiet just because there's been a lot of other news, particularly with this next topic. This next topic is about Matt Gaetz, who is a representative from Florida, and Kevin McCarthy, who's the Speaker of the
I was
House.
not listening to a single word you just said. Can you just back that up for me? Sorry.
Yeah, so
Alright,
like
sorry.
we're talking about how Trump said he's gonna deport a bunch of legal immigrants because they're dirty.
Well,
Um,
no,
it's-
not because they're dirty, because they're fucking illegal.
Yeah, and brown.
Oh my
Anyways.
god. Okay, like, okay, I get it's a joke, but I just want to address this very clearly.
Go.
Hating illegal immigration into your country is not a hatred of the illegal immigrants necessarily. You know what they say about, hate the sin, not the sinner? Fucking religious people say that all the time, right? You could argue that immigrating into a country illegally and bypassing all of those systems to immigrate legally and lawfully is a type of legal sin. And so I don't actually have that much animosity for each individual illegal immigrant. It's the problem as a whole that needs to be addressed with critique and a willingness to change the system, right? Like, one illegal immigrant is not going to collapse the economy and destroy America, right? Like, And so I don't know how anybody can frame that kind of sort of attitude against legal immigration as racism, because racism is uniquely an individual hatred. Yes, there are examples of collective racism, but they are inherently baked into systems and institutions. Whereas this is not talking about systemic racism when somebody calls you a racist. They're calling you an individual racist, and they are expecting a moral obligation out of you to change yourself and to improve yourself to not be individually racist anymore. And so all that is to say, like you genuinely, you can be against illegal immigration specifically from Mexico and not hate Mexicans, and that's not a logical contradiction.
Very true. But also, I think Sunnyhawkeye was joking.
I mean, he was like,
Yeah.
see,
So very true, King Chao.
that's just a level
not sure
99
that's relevant.
autism. That's just a level 99 autism. What can I say?
Yeah. Speaking of autism, Matt Gates. So essentially,
bro, this guy's a hater, bro. Why are you hating, bro? Stop hating.
Matt Gates, I have
Bro,
lost all
stop
respect
being
for
a
Matt
hater,
Gates
bro.
after what happened, bro.
Bro, you're just a hater, bro. Just a hater, bro. Stop hating, bro. He's better, bro.
He really isn't. He's a retard.
Bro, whoa.
He's
No.
fat
He
retard.
can say it. He's got the pass.
Oh yeah, because he's retarded.
We all have the pass. Come on, man.
No, just you.
Well, I mean, like, King Chao gave it to me, and then Sunny.
What? That's not how that works.
What?
That's
Anyways.
not how that works.
Wait,
Bro,
so it's like an STD?
You went to the sped room back in high school. I don't want to hear it.
Some people,
I don't
want
wanna
to
hear it.
give the
Aren't
Ember
you the
pass.
only one who went to the sped room? Like,
No, well, I mean, I went there, but so did he.
wait, hold on. You two went to the sped room?
Yes.
And I didn't. So that means I'm the only one that's pure.
Wait, pure? Wait. What do you mean by that?
Hey, by traditional standpoints, probably not.
How so? Oh wait.
That's a joke, guys. Please, it's
Guys,
a joke.
I'm making fun of me because I'm brown. I need your support.
Yeah,
Patreon.
actually, it's active malice, and I am actually racist towards brown people.
Yeah, he actually like locks me in the basement. Once a month we record these.
Yeah,
What's
that whole rant that I gave about not being racist towards Mexicans, that was actually a hypothetical. I am racist. I am racist.
They actually don't let me out of the basement until we record, and that's why I make an
We only let him
emphasis.
go to work and then like just get some money so we can live off that. And then,
Yeah.
they don't let me
Like,
leave.
pretty
They don't let me
much.
go
Get your
outside.
money up, not your funny up, slave boy.
They don't let me leave the confines of the
You know,
basement. guys.
Brown is close enough to what we used to have.
Guys, I said the address. Oh please.
Yeah.
Alright,
Don't worry. We'll cut it out,
Oh
right?
my god. Oh man. All
It's
right.
gonna take a week for him to finish, bro. It's gonna take a week for him to finish editing.
All right, guys. Let's get back to the topic,
Yeah.
please. So, this story involves two people. Well, I guess
Why not
technically
three?
9,
What 9?
but 2 main people. All right. The
Okay.
7 others are like side characters. You know, like side bitches you have.
Wait.
Anyways.
How would you know?
Yeah, you would know.
Bro, you don't
I'll
have a
talk
main
about
bitch,
Sunny
bro.
Hawkeye because you know
Don't
his
you
religion.
mean side men? Don't you mean side men?
No. I'm talking about Sunny
on
Hawkeye
your
because his
speed
religion
dial?
allows for it. You
On
know.
your speed dial?
Anyways. All right, guys. Matt Gates. He's representative from Florida. Pretty red district, so no matter what he does, he probably will retain the seat. And Kevin McCarthy. He's the Speaker of the House, or he was the Speaker of the House. He's from Bakersfield, so not too far away from us. And he's considered a moderate Republican. And he's a Trump supporter. So essentially, when Kevin McCarthy, we talked about this like a couple months ago. I believe it was like 9 months ago, 10 months ago. When Kevin McCarthy was voted as Speaker of the House, a lot of people were opposed to it, including Matt Gaetz, until they pried concessions from Kevin McCarthy, like the Hunter Biden stuff where they were doing investigations into him, or a pledge to vote or to govern conservatively as a Speaker of the House. And in all of that negotiation, there was one clause, and that clause was the motion to vacate. What that basically means is that any person in Congress, any one member, can call a vote to vacate the Speaker from that position. So if Matt Gaetz decides, I don't like Kevin McCarthy because Kevin McCarthy is Kevin McCarthy, so I'm going to call a vote to get him out of there. He could do that at any point with just one person, which is himself. And that's what happened essentially. The context to why he decided to bring up the motion to vacate was the government needed a spending bill so it could operate. This happens every time around this year, and it's just normal proceedings. The government needs money, and if you ever heard the saying that the House has the power of the purse, that's where it gets it from, because they have to initiate bills from spending.
And isn't this where we have previously talked about like the debt ceiling and how Congress allocates money? That's what we're talking about. It's the process of basically spending and allocating the national budget.
Correct. So Kevin McCarthy, he proposed one budget deal. I would say a week or two ago at this point. In it, the deal had 8% less spending compared to the previous year, and no further aid to Ukraine.
Oh, shit.
Which was very good, considering that Democrats control the Senate, and the president is controlled by Joe Biden, who's also a Democrat. But you know what? Matt Gaetz has a stick up his ass, and he decided that wasn't enough. So instead of voting for it, he voted against it. And because of that, and because of 7 other Republicans, the bill didn't pass, because of course all Democrats voted against it.
Well, yeah.
So you know what happened? Right before October 1st, which was the deadline. And by the way, if you don't pass the spending bill, our troops don't get paid. People I forgot what it's called, but people check you out before you go to a flight. They don't get paid. Federal employees don't get paid. So not only is this a bad political move, a lot of people are going to be affected negatively by this because they're not going to be paid.
Hold on, before you continue, is this in any way equivalent to the government shutdowns that we experienced?
Yes, it was a government shutdown.
Oh yeah,
correct.
It literally was just a government shutdown. Well, because I remember it was kind of making the news in, I don't know if it was 2020 or 2021, but the government shut down and reopened, I believe, in like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
and it was framed as, oh, Trump's a whole big baby and he's gonna destroy America's fair and due processes because he didn't get his way and he's throwing a temper tantrum and all that stuff. So I'm wondering what the sort of analysis of the government shutdowns is now that the president and the Senate is controlled by the left.
Right. So the reason why the Trump shutdown was labeled the Trump shutdown was because Trump only controlled, I believe at the time, the Senate and the presidency. And the House initiates all bills. And this situation is inversed. Republicans only control the House. They don't control the Senate or the presidency. So it's very hard to get concessions from Democrats when they control 2 out of the 3 chambers. That's just how it works. Same with Trump. If he doesn't control 3 out of the 3 chambers, well, it's harder to get concessions out of Democrats. Because they're just going to say, I'm not going to pass it. I'm not even going to entertain it. Right? Because they could basically do that. Same thing is happening here.
Wait, hold on. Again, before you continue.
Yeah.
Is it at all the same the other way around? Like, obviously, of course, there is a certain level of, I would say, Democrat refusal to compromise that comes out of the radicalism of the modern day left. But I also happen to know that conservatives can tend to be pretty against compromise as well, especially when...
Same thing, correct.
Okay, so it's happening on both sides.
It's not like a partisan issue where Democrats only do it. Republicans do it too. But I'm just saying the optics of it don't really allow Kevin McCarthy to pry out more concessions that he already did. Do you know what I mean? That spending bill where he got 8% decrease from last year and no further aid to Ukraine, that was basically the best he was going to get, and everybody knows that. Everybody in Congress knows that, but Matt Gaetz decided, because he wants personal fame, that wasn't good enough. So Kevin McCarthy, last minute, I believe it was 6 hours before the government was about to shut down, passed a bill where the spending level would not increase, it would stay the same from last year, and no further aid was going to be given to Ukraine. So it was even a miracle that he got that last part where no further aid was given to Ukraine, because obviously that's a Democrat top priority.
Right.
Regardless, that was passed, and Matt Gaetz was like, this guy's corrupt, he's working with the rhinos, we need to vote him out. And guess what he did? He said, I'm going to call a motion to vacate, to get Kevin McCarthy out of the speakership. And Kevin McCarthy, because he has to uphold his promise, but that ultimately goes by him, he was calling Matt Gaetz bluff. He said, he's not going to vote against me, there's no way. That would be stupid and idiotic on every single fucking level possible. Yeah. Guess what? Matt Gaetz and 7 other Republicans voted against Kevin McCarthy. You're like, that's not a majority. I mean, how can you vote out a Speaker of the House with only 8 people? All fucking Democrats voted against Kevin fucking McCarthy. So it was 96% of Republicans voted against to vote him out, but 100% of Democrats plus 4% of Republicans decided to vote him out. And a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Nancy Pelosi, the former speaker, told Kevin McCarthy that she would never have her Democrats vote against him out of speakership. Like, that's out of principle. And they're mad at Pelosi, but you can't be mad at Pelosi for the situation where it's all Matt Gaetz' fucking fault. You don't be mad at the Democrats. When your opponent is fucking kicked down to the ground, don't expect them to help you back up. That's not how it fucking works.
Well, yeah, right?
You shouldn't expect the Democrats to bail you out. That's not how shit works in the Senate or the fucking House.
Yeah, right.
And apparently this is a fucking surprise for Republicans. And I don't really fucking blame Kevin McCarthy because he was going to get voted out regardless. Just because he allowed the vote to happen at that hour doesn't mean it wasn't going to happen in the next 5 hours. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm conflicted. Because the thing is, on some level, I do understand the idea of, sort of, you can kind of argue this is what Trump did in his last hours of being president, is basically, it's if you know that you're going to get, voted out, then you might as well do something stupid and take the system down with you kind of mentality. But I don't think that's very conducive to a healthy nation in general. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention the fact that, it's like you said, nobody should be expecting the Democrats to help out in this situation. And I think part of that is because, I mean, obviously, this is not what Democrats want, and that's reasonable. But there's also something to be said that compromise, and I know I'm going to sound like a centrist, I know, we get called woke enough, everybody calm down, but I think that compromise in 2023 is kind of dead. Especially because all of the sort of outlets for there to be any kind of reasonable middle ground between the two parties is pretty much gone. And this is, I would say, mostly because, the left accepted their radicals. They did not push them down. Okay, as far as I can tell, most right-wingers distance themselves where they can from the far right. The left calls everybody, far right, fascist, Nazi, whatever. And the response from most right-wingers is, no, I'm not.
Just to interject a little bit.
Yeah?
Chao's right about this. But just to further prove his point, Matt Gaetz and the 7 other Republicans are considered the right wing. They're considered right wing of the Republican Party. Okay, so just take that as what you will.
So the right of the right of Republicans. Okay. That's actually very helpful information. But in general, I would just say that, when right wingers or even just like centrists are called far right and are associated with the people who unironically use that label to describe themselves, the answer is almost always no, I'm not. Unless they're joking or shit posting, but that's like that should not be considered seriously, right? If you ask a leftist, or most leftists, if they would consider themselves to be far left, the immediate sort of reaction is not necessarily no, I'm not. It's what do you define as far left? Far left is just progress. Progress is good. It's like, if you actually were to call these ideologies by name, if you ask a right-winger whether or not they're a Nazi, most of the time they're probably just going to say that you're a Nazi because, they're freedom fighters, so we even do this, Sons of Liberty, right? But, it's a deflection. If you ask a left-winger if they're a communist or, a socialist or something, then the often sort of response that you get is something to the effect of yes. Or if not yes, like, some type of, I guess, like, personal support but political hesitancy. Unless you're talking to an actual, like, leftist radical, in which case they'll be like, yes, absolutely. I think that Bernie Sanders does not go far enough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and so that's the difference. The left wing has, in bulk, accepted their radicals, even if they don't pretend to on the surface. And that is the difference. That is a huge difference, especially when it comes to sort of bipartisan thinking. Because if the right rejects their radicals, I would argue to some extent as they should, but the left does not, then the left will, in totality, become more radical over time. And we've seen that over the past, like, decade plus, maybe even 2 decades. I'd argue it's been happening for a long time, and that it's just been bubbling under the surface. But, that's a little hard to prove. So, at the very minimum, it's been happening for a little bit over a decade. The left has been getting more and more radical in their thinking. And this has led to a situation where compromise is completely off the table. And the parties have become completely oppositional forces. They were always somewhat oppositional forces, but now it's like it's practically a cold civil war. And I say cold because obviously there's not a lot of actual civil war going on, at least not yet. But there is something to be said that America's biggest problem, sort of on a global scale, isn't Russia or China or any other country. It's actually itself. And that's good, because civil wars are less destructive than real wars. And, there is at least some level of hope for national sort of unity. And then that's then that problem would be solved. Whereas it's a little bit more of an unknown when you're talking about, other countries that have completely alien interests, and many of whom don't even speak the same language as us, right? So civil wars are better, arguably, but it's still bad. It's still a negative situation. And if we're gonna come out of this as as Americans, as a united America of some stripe, hopefully, we're going to have to find a solution to this. And it's not going to be found in bending the knee to every single request that Democrats make in sort of the hopes of unity, because that's what Joe Biden thinks compromise is. Joe Biden thinks compromise is doing whatever they want. And that's not how this game is played. Real compromise is a little bit of what they want, a little bit of what we want, and we sacrifice the particularly radical and particularly unfeasible requests. So, tying this back to the whole
Matt Gaetz.
the Matt Gaetz story. There's something to be said that Matt Gaetz was acting in a sort of irrational and unreasonable manner, which is partially understandable in the fact that he was on his sort of last legs, and this was sort of just a final fuck you, so to speak. But it's not very healthy for the nation. And I don't think that action really warrants much respect, because it completely dismantled the larger Republicans' ability in the House to be able to do much of anything about the massive spending by the president, the massive spending towards the Russia-Ukrainian war, and in general the major tank that this economy is constantly being hit with over and over and over again every single year, getting a little bit worse every day.
Yeah. And just to add on, look, Kevin McCarthy has probably been the best speaker in my generation, at least. if you compare him to all the other Republican speakers, he's been the most effective with what he's got because he's got 2 chambers controlled by the opposite party. And when you look at what he's accomplished, I mean, it's really great. And all the other candidates, the supposed candidates that Matt Gaetz has proposed, like fucking Jim Jordan from Ohio, all say they don't want to be speaker because, number one, they have more important committee assignments like in the Hunter Biden investigation. But number two, every Republican is now scared that the same is going to happen to them. So if they cut a conciliatory deal with the Democrats to keep the government open, to make sure everyone's paid, well, you might get the fucking boot because Matt Gaetz believes that wasn't conservative enough. And the whole problem with his position on this whole thing is he's basically saying all of his Republican colleagues, they're corrupt, they're siding with the rhinos. But look at him. Him and literally 7 other Republicans sided with every single Democrat in the House. What does that say about him? I think that says more about his character than the rhinos that are supposedly corrupting all the other Republicans. That's just my take on the whole situation. Um, and just a little bit of some facts. McCarthy was the first. He has the shortest term as Speaker of the House than any other speaker in American history. He's been the first speaker to be ousted in like over 100 years. So this is not common at all, and this is likely to hurt Republicans in the general. Because how is this gonna? How are voters gonna perceive Republicans? They're gonna perceive them as incompetent, as people who can't get the job done. So this will not benefit the country.
I will say, for the record, if the swing voters were to look at this incident and conclude that Republicans are incompetent and can't agree on anything or deal with their more radical elements, I mean, when they think of that of the Democrats with their tussles with their more radical elements that they've let willingly into their ranks for again about a little bit over a decade now.
Yeah. I mean, look, say what you will about Nancy Pelosi as speaker, but she was really effective in the sense that she could basically get everyone to vote a certain way, even if they were the radical parts of the Democratic Party. She knew how to whip everyone in line. And one thing that Republicans can't really do right now is whip everyone in line because, well, there aren't really consequences for the situation. So, in my opinion, the next Speaker of the House, obviously, you gotta strip Matt Gaetz of every fucking committee assignment. Every single one of it. You gotta make sure he gets no funding in the next election cycle. He's gotta be on his own, that's gotta be fucking clear. Because you can't let this shit slide. Alright? One person cannot oust a speaker that 96% of Republicans want as speaker. That's not how this shit works. So yeah, that's obviously a case of I forgot the term. It's like it's mob rule pretty much. It's really stupid in all single ways, especially when Joe Biden is the most vulnerable he's been ever, and the press is focusing on this shit. We should be focusing on Joe Biden, not on Republicans in the House. It's really stupid. It's gonna hurt everyone's chances once the election comes around. Especially since I don't think this problem is gonna go away. I really don't. So yeah, that's just the whole situation. As for where it's at right now, because this is all developing, he was voted out 2 days ago, so this is all very fucking new. That's why I'm still upset about it. You could hear in my voice. I'm really upset about it because this shit is not supposed to happen. All right. So I mentioned before, Republicans are now scared to be speaker because obviously they could be voted out again. So a lot of people, especially in the Senate, like Mitch McConnell, who has its own problems, are suggesting that the motion to vacate should not be included as a clause as the next person to become speaker, which is I'm not too sure about that. I think the threshold should be higher. So instead of one person only needing one person to initiate that vote, I think you should increase it to like 100 or at least 50, you know, because at that point, I mean, I guess whatever, but I guess there's a point to be made with the motion to vacate because basically you could have all 200 fucking Democrats vote and say they want a motion to vacate, and then Matt Gaetz is in the same position where he votes with all those Democrats. So it's a hard position to kind of wrestle with. But yeah, something needs to be done about motion to vacate. That should not be included at all, or something needs to be changed there. And so ironically, out of all this, Matt Gaetz, I don't know what he's doing. He brought up a good point. He said he's going to get rid of the motion to vacate rule, if you get some
Oh,
conciliation
that's good.
out of the House. But these are unrealistic. So let me just read it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Bans Congress stock trading, which, look, I am all for banning insider trading in Congress if we cannot do insider trading as individuals. I think that's
Right.
fair.
Well, I mean, okay,
Insider trading is kind of like a fake
in
crime too. Let
in
me just point that out.
insider trading. What? I mean, no, it's
I don't
not.
believe if in my perfect world, I don't think insider trading should be illegal, but that's a whole different
Well,
discussion.
okay. The thing about insider trading, right, is by definition, it's literally in the word. It is insider trading.
Yeah.
It is a form of sort of hidden government monopoly via access to information that those in the free market and that are not affiliated with the government do not have. So absolutely, insider trading bad. All right, like that
Right.
that is absolutely a real crime, and the fact that we the government prosecutes people for insider trading when the only way that they would be able to get that insider knowledge is through the government is well.
Yeah. Another thing in his conditions, he wants to ban Congress from lobbying, which you're not going to get that, buddy. All right, that's just not going to happen. Interesting, but it's not going to happen. Another interesting provision: 12-year term limits, which I am so in favor for. But how are you going to get that done with this current makeup of Congress? Realistically, I mean, you got people that are 90 fucking years old serving. You think they're going to agree to that term? Fuck no.
It kind of seems like he's fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah, and then he also wants to ban lobbyist/PAC donations. Not going to happen. Both parties rely on that for elections. If you think that's going to ever happen, you're smoking on crack.
Okay,
All
the
right.
thing is, I think it's very clear to say all of these things are good, right?
Yes.
All of these things are good, but that doesn't actually mean that they're feasible, and that is definitely a bit of utopian thinking, I think.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously he said all these provisions because it looks good on Twitter, but he obviously knows that's never going to happen. So the motion to vacate is going to be provisioned with the next speaker.
Wow.
So it's like, you might as well just fucking state your opinion as, I still want the motion to vacate in the new speakership, right? Because this is just unrealistic. But I thought that was interesting about the whole
I mean,
debacle.
that almost kind of seems like a right wing version of virtue signaling.
Yeah, no,
I
obviously.
mean, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
So, damn.
Yeah,
Disappointing.
yeah, I mean, look, I just don't. I fucking hate Matt Gase right now because this is really fucking up everyone
No,
so bad.
I get that. And the thing is, I can't even necessarily say that he has entirely bad intentions. What I can say is that his actions will hurt way more than any supposed good could come from this. But I can't prove with certainty that he knows that or not, and so got me in a bit of a double bind, I'll be honest.
Right, and Trump also said he likes Kevin McCarthy as speaker. He endorsed Kevin McCarthy as speaker, so you know this whole situation's messed up for
Yeah.
sure. Especially since Matt Gaetz is running under the premise as being like a mini Trump or somebody that is very loyal to Trump,
Which
who
can I
likes to
just
vote
say
like him.
is a little bit, creepy and disingenuous in its own way.
Yeah,
I don't know why everybody in the Republican Party is trying to be like an asset to Trump. Trump was supposed to be the example, not the rule. People can be, inflammatory and bold and defined in their beliefs without being Donald J. Trump's like disciple,
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's true. That's a big problem for Republicans, I think, going into the next election cycle,
Yeah.
especially after 2024. That's going to be a huge issue because Trump's going to be gone. I don't think if he loses that election, I don't think he's going to come back.
I don't
And
know. I
if he
don't know
wins it, he
how we
can't go.
could or why he would.
Yeah. So Republicans are going to need to wrestle with that idea after Trump is out of politics, which is pretty soon. I mean, he's kind of getting old, and I don't think he'd run again after 2024.
Yeah,
So
no, that's the difference between. Well, that's another difference between the Republicans and the Democrats is the Republicans are a lot less likely to, like prop up a corpse, in office.
Yeah.
At least right now.
Hot take: I think Republicans have a higher standard when it comes to presenting a candidate for voters than Democrats, because the Democrats could present, as Chao said, a corpse that can't stand, and they could get it elected. So,
I would sort of pause that and say that I don't think it's necessarily that they have lower standards. It's more that they are more desperate, and that naturally the desire for a term without Trump trumps, ironically, their need to have a president that meets all of their quotas for diversity, inclusion, and equity, and also the proper politics.
yeah. I
Like,
think that's the end of
like
that topic.
let's be real. I know for a fact that the DNC was hoping that Joe Biden would be so incompetent that this would basically just be a Kamala Harris presidency. And it was in small ways, but no, it turns out that people still looked at Joe Biden for answers, and it was just like, I don't know where I am.
Yeah, pretty true. Yeah, that's the end of the topic.
So is that it for
By Gates and company.
the Mr. Gates?
We'll see how he goes from
Bill
here, but yeah.
Gates. Not Bill Gates.
No
Okay.
Anyways,
Sunny, you got anything to add about the topic?
Well, all I'm saying is, like, shoot, the reason why Trump's not gonna be reelected after 2024, not reelected, not gonna run after 2024 is because he's gonna win. All right, let's be real here, guys. He's gonna win. All right, it's not gonna be because he's losing and be like, oh, I'm too old now. Nah, it's because he's gonna win, and not be able to run again. He's a winner. He's never gonna lose.
Well,
I hope he wins because
He's gonna negotiate a deal, bro. He's gonna be like, deal or no deal, bro. He'll be like, $5 a pizza, okay? I give $15, okay?
Oh yeah.
Those of you didn't.
Did this
don't remember the
just turn
Domino's
into an
ad.
ad for fucking Little Caesars?
That was Domino's, wasn't it? It was Domino's. That did that.
That's Domino's? Oh, okay.
They did that out of the Donald Trump? Yeah, I think so.
Wait, Domino's did an ad for Donald Trump? Wait, is
You
Domino's
didn't know that?
is
That's
Domino's
why I got.
is Domino's canceled?
No, but it was a while ago when he was doing his show.
The before time.
Yeah, before politics.
Yeah.
Before he went to politics,
Yeah, before everyone started
the thing
hating him.
is, he
It was
he actually was involved in politics back when he was just a regular rich guy, or like he was involved in sort of the actor scene. He
was a lobbyist.
Yeah, well, that too.
Yeah.
He dabbled in everything.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, he actually was going to be a Democrat. Like there were a couple of people that found out that Trump's like sort of party allegiance was entirely dependent on being oppositional to the current president in power. Like Trump spent half of his political career as a Democrat and half as a Republican, and hot swapped between the two depending on who had the presidency.
Well, I mean, it was very clear that Trump was for most of his life a Democrat, and he's already admitted that. So there's that. And that's not to say that people that are initially Democrats can't be good presidents. Ronald Reagan was a Democrat for basically all of his life until he was elected president. So, yeah. And obviously, Trump has a good record. I'm just pointing that out as like another example. But still.
Well, you gotta make sure you don't say too much bad about Trump. God forbid we keep getting comments that say we're woke.
You're right. Looks like the orange ain't this morning. Anyways.
I had my OJ, my orange OJ this
Simpson?
morning. Whoa. I think Trump's friends with OJ, by the way.
God. I mean,
anyway.
He was innocent, I guess.
I don't know about that, but
I mean, hey,
we're not gonna get to that.
He's out. Wait, yeah, he's out of prison.
Yeah.
He's been out. He's on TikTok.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Fucking OJ, dude.
In his mansion, bro, just like making TikToks.
That's
Yeah, if I was
wild.
OJ, I would do the same thing. I can't even lie. Like, fuck, man. You beat the system.
Like,
Like, what can you do at that point, man? For real.
I mean, it's kind of sad. They took all his records away from the NFL. I was like, oh. Anyways, speaking of NFL,
Just speaking of NFL, Kaiser Permanente, totally related.
what?
is that the next topic?
That's the next topic.
Wait, is it
Well,
strike?
it's union strikes. So there's been a lot of union strikes in the. I know Hawkeye has a lot to say about like the second part of this union strike, but let's just start getting into it. So the most recent union strike, or the big union strike, is against Kaiser Permanente, which, by the way, really, really retarded, because when you really think about it, it's really a smart idea for healthcare workers to go out on strike and not go and do their job.
No. See, it's not stupid. I mean, it is, but it isn't at the same time because these happen all the time. This is just the most recent / biggest one so far. There's so many strikes, especially with the health system. They always want more because there's different unions and they have different departments, so they're helping different parts of the hospital. For this one, it's the nurses, and it's just so annoying for me because I see this because I know the health system. I know people in the health system, and just seeing this like basically 2 times a year or like half a year is just so annoying because like they keep asking for more and more and more. It's kind of greedy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, some of the asks are absurd. I mean, the double digits increase in pay is ridiculous. I get inflation's rising, but how are you going to expect when it's double digits? I mean, that's just not feasible. And the reason why all these union strikes are happening is because of fucking Joe Biden. All right.
No
We
surprise.
all know this is kind of a Joe Biden topic, but we need to make it its own because this is a bigger topic than Joe Biden. Although Joe Biden's the root cause, but still.
Honestly, I was gonna kind of think this would eventually tie back into the Hollywood strikes, but I guess there are just so many strikes.
It's a little
nowadays that
different.
It's a different thing.
Well, with the Hollywood strikes, it's like more in depth with like also AI and like
Right.
Yeah.
all the benefits and stuff. This is a little different.
Different.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a lot different.
I got you.
The thing with the Hollywood strikes is they're asking for increased pay and better compensation, but the points are different. With the Kaiser strike and the auto worker strikes, it's more monetary, right? And this is all basically Joe Biden's making because this is the most corrupt bargain in American politics, where the unions pay the Democratic nominee for their campaign. They fund it. And then in return, once the Democrat goes into office, they basically cut them really good deals so that their union contracts are bigger and fatter. It's really stupid and corrupt, but because they're unions and American society, for whatever reason, values unions, that's just the way it works.
You and your
Well,
union, bro.
because we value the concept of workers' rights and workers' right to organize.
But
Look,
unions are like a double-edged sword. They're both good and bad.
Yeah.
Because like they take a huge chunk. They take a percentage of people's paychecks, and like if anything, they're kind of hurting the employees.
You could
at the
argue
same
that
time.
unions are inherently non-productive, and they only seek to add weight to the transaction between the productive class and the bourgeoisie, the capitalist class.
The pigeons are cameras. I swear, they're recording me. I saw a red light on them.
Yeah,
Now-
no, I didn't take my pills today. That makes my friends go away.
No way,
Not
bro.
real.
Uh,
Were we
uh,
on? No, we're
Yeah.
we talking
We were
about?
talking
I
about
got-
the union.
I got two problems with unions nowadays. I'm fine with them in the private sector. What I'm not fine is when Democrats basically have a large hand in the unions and the way they negotiate their contracts, because then you have the government holding a gun against these companies. And the second thing I'm not a fan of is unions in the public's or in government jobs. So like, let's say you're TSA and they have a union for that. That's kind of bad because you're basically bargaining against the American taxpayer. And
Right.
I'm not exactly in favor of that. But that's regardless.
Well, because the thing,
Joe
okay,
Yeah,
you think about unions in general, and you could make this argument for both government unions and private unions, is they inherently make the relationship between the worker and the employer, not even just adversarial but inherently hostile, because any kind of negotiation has to work through the union first. And so, and then of course involving this with the government is now, instead of fighting a corporation who has a clear goal in mind, which is profit, you are fighting the government, which doesn't actually have any money of its own and only has the sort of vague goal of protecting the rights and not, sort of like protecting the civil liberties of its citizens from foreign intrusion, and protecting citizens from other citizens who go against the peace. So those are both vague goals. You see, they're not nearly as they're more elastic than something like profit incentive, which is very clear cut. You either make profit or you don't, right? And so,
Yeah.
because of that, you're not just putting workers against the American taxpayer. You're also putting them against the government, which in general just doesn't have very clear focus, especially nowadays, right? Because, Joe Biden and the current presidency is very, it definitely does lack focus. It doesn't lack ideology necessarily, but what it does lack is modes of clear and effective praxis that actually help people, right? That it isn't just words. So on that note, sort of tying this back to the unions conversation, is yes, it absolutely is an adversarial relationship between taxpayers and workers, but it's also an adversarial relationship with the government, who is the regulator of the game. And so when all of those people are on one side, the other side kind of loses. So government unions are all of the problems of private unions plus all of the inefficiencies of government.
True.
Yeah.
So in addition to the Kaiser Permanente strike, there's also been a strike that's still going on for a very long time against the auto workers, or the auto business. So against Stellantis, General Motors, and Ford. The strike against Ford is kind of cooled off because they kind of they did some concessions to the strikers. But let me just explain to you what the General Motors workers are seeking. They're seeking a 36% pay increase over 4 years, which is ridiculous. That's higher than inflation by all metrics. And a 32-hour work week. Alright, let me tell you something. That means you're going to work 8 hours a day for 4 days, and that's a regular work week. Motherfucker, that's how much I work in a week, and I go to college. So, yeah, that's ridiculous on every single fucking level. And this is causing a lot of bottlenecks in the whole fucking economy. Just because the auto business in the United States accounts for 3% of GDP. So this is really having long-lasting effects. And Joe Biden is just being disgusting with his behavior on this, because the UAW, the United Auto Workers, they have not said that they're going to support a specific candidate as of right now. Because of that, Joe Biden was like, oh, I gotta do some drastic decision here. Let me go to the front picket lines and protest with them. And so here's a video of him protesting with them.
Oh no.
This is bad.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. Hold up. I kind of like fucked up here, but not yeah, there you go.
I'm about to say.
Glad to have you here, Mr. Biden. We're going to have you here to walk the picket line with us, sir.
You made a lot of sacrifices. You gave up a lot. It's a simple proposition. It's just about being fair. And folks, stick with it, because you deserve the significant raise and other benefits. So let's get back what we lost, okay? We saved them. It's about time them to step up for us.
Just save
Stick with it because you deserve the raise and other benefits. Like he's just trailing. He's falling apart, man.
You know what? You know what makes this even more disgusting?
Hmm.
It's like, okay, he's encouraging them to go on the picket line, which is already bad because the government has a large say in the auto business.
Yeah.
But he's also wearing their fucking hats, so you can obviously tell he's in their pocket.
Yeah.
This is disgusting behavior by a president. I mean, I don't know how you could basically put it any other way. And it's causing a lot of problems in the economy. It's going to get worse because General Motors is not going to agree to a 36% pay increase over 4 years. That's ridiculous, especially with a 4-day work week. What is this, people? This is ridiculous on every single front. But that's what happens when you have Joe Biden as the president. You know that if you are going to pledge your support to a specific candidate, well, I mean, don't pledge your support up until the election, so Biden has to take these drastic actions.
This does kind of seem like Biden buying support.
This is
Yeah.
exactly Biden buying support.
And of course, yet again, we must bring up Biden is paying with your money. So
Yeah, right. So not only is the money gonna go to these union workers, but also these companies like General Motors, they're gonna become less efficient, and then the products are gonna be worse overall for the consumers.
you know that's what tends to happen when the government gets involved in the market.
Yeah, it's
Just
stupid
in
on every
general.
single level. And I have my own thoughts on unions, but it's for a different video.
I mean, we're
'Cause,
already talking
yeah.
about it. You might as well give your union take here. Why not?
All right, my opinion. Excuse me. Unions shouldn't exist. I said it.
Entirely.
Yeah,
Ever.
entirely. Yep.
Okay. Well, what's
Not
your
in favor
reasoning?
for it.
What's your reasoning?
Well, I don't think it's particularly effective that unions exist. And number two, when you have unions that pledge their allegiance to a specific candidate, like in the case of the Democrats, I think that's very corrupt. And Democrats
Yes.
like to scream, "Oh, but corporations, they donate money to Republicans, and that's even more corrupt because they're in favor of tax cuts." But let me tell you guys something. When corporations donate money to Republicans, they lobby for Republicans, meaning they push for Republicans to vote a certain way. These union members are basically telling Joe Biden, "Hey, if you don't vote the certain way, or if you don't give us this money, or you don't tell these companies to actually accept our conciliations, well, then we're just not going to pledge support to you." That's a corrupt bargaining move. That's ridiculous. So I think the incentive structure is just structured completely wrong and incorrectly, and that's why I don't think it should be allowed.
Okay. So that was a pretty concise and punchy argument for why unions should not be allowed to influence politicians. But your argument was why unions shouldn't exist, period.
Yes, period. Because I don't think they can exist in a world where they don't influence politicians. I just don't think that's possible. They've been doing this for 60 years.
But hypothetically,
well,
if they could, would that make unions okay?
I mean, if they could, sure, but they can't. So, like, let me tell you something. The place I work at, we just had sexual harassment training, and the standard there is ridiculous. So, their whole point is sexual harassment qualifies as something that's unwelcome towards the person, or that's not reciprocated in the same way, right? And I'm like, okay, so you can make advances towards an individual, but it has to be reciprocated and it has to be welcomed. Well, isn't that already a liability because the person could claim at a later position, especially if you're part of management, that the person in management position was abusing their power later on? Why don't you just say no across the board to work relationships? Why is it allowed?
Well,
and I think that's the same position you have to take with unions.
Maybe that's because that's a very extreme response that maybe does more harm than good. I don't know. You know, that's not a completely unreasonable conclusion, but I would argue that, you know, you haven't done enough to justify why unions are bad in every case, or even why they're bad in most cases. You are only speaking about how they involve political influence, which isn't the entirety of the discussion.
Okay, another thing I think that's wrong with unions is the fact that if you're part of a union, employer can't basically say, "I don't want unions to work for me." That's illegal. I don't think that's correct because obviously there are certain traits that employers could look at and basically see if they want them at the company.
Okay,
I
no,
don't
this
think.
I absolutely agree with.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just how unions go because they lobbied for that with the politicians. So
Yeah.
I just think that's another part of their. It's too corrupt, and it's better just to not have him at all than to have him.
Maybe. I think that probably a little bit more complicated than that in general. But I do think that you're bringing up a very good point. That unions should definitely, at the very least, not be allowed to influence, or really what this is bribery. This is extortion of government officials. That should not be allowed because, I mean, that means that the government will only ever act in the union's best interest, which is an abuse of their position. Sonny, what do you think about this?
I think he's looking. To be fair to Sonny, I think he's looking for a video in which Joe Biden's like fighting with a union member or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I didn't see that in the news cycle. But to be fair, this was like a whole bunch of time ago. The strike's still going on, but Joe Biden on the picket line it's a pretty old topic. So
Okay.
yeah. Sonny, you there?
I'm retarded. I have my mic muted. Oh my gosh, bro. Are you serious? I was legit just talking. I was like, okay, this motherfucker just interrupted me. All right, thank you. All right, so basically,
Fumble.
like the video that I'm looking for is him arguing with the worker there, and them talking about how that Joe Biden's trying to take his guns away, and Joe Biden's like, "I'm not trying to take your guns away. You can have your guns, whatever." I'm like, and then like the reporter's trying, or not reporter, his press person, like trying to pull him away, and like he just squares up with the employee basically and gets in his face, and then the employee gets in his face and just like back and forth.
That's funny.
And ironically, I think he's eating ice cream. But
Of course, Joe Biden is, because why wouldn't he be doing that?
Yeah,
He's
right.
Joe Biden.
He's Joe Biden.
Yeah,
He's Joe
you know,
Biden.
he's the strongest president we've ever had. Had a public image of eating ice cream on a Sunday. It's really, really
but
strong.
I mean, the thing is, I don't think that it's. I don't think that's entirely fair. I think that the president should totally be allowed to take a big old bite of American made ice cream. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think the
it's
problem
like
is that he's a
he
fucking
wanting
corpse.
Okay, look.
American made cupcake, you know?
No, okay. To be fair to Chao, I think it's a difference of how you want the president to be perceived. That's just my opinion. I don't think it's a very good idea that the president is perceived as this like old gentle figure who likes to eat ice cream on a Sunday. I just don't
That's
think
the
that's very
only way
good.
they can. He's not a strong leader.
Here's the
He's
thing.
just a walking puppet.
Exactly. If Joe Biden was competent and actually like mentally sound, but then also had the appearance of somebody who is a little bit on the gentler side, I don't think that's necessarily bad as long as he can be sort of stoic and serious when he has to be, you know? I don't
I
think
he
that
can't.
No, he can't. Because
That's the
thing
problem,
is,
I guess, right?
Well, the thing is, he can be. He just doesn't understand why he is because he's fucking senile and doesn't
Yeah,
understand what
that's
he's
true.
saying. So that's worse, actually. That's worse than a president that can't take anything seriously and is completely non-threatening. Is a president that is completely unaware of reality.
True.
Yeah, we are the laughing stock of the world right now.
Yeah.
And have been for the past 3 to be 4 years.
Yeah, even
So, yeah.
even countries that do not like America, you know, and like they will side with many Republicans on hating Joe Biden and making fun of Joe Biden because he's a laughingstock, and in turn, he has made the country a laughingstock.
Yeah.
Well, I liked it better when we were hated than laughed upon, to be honest with you.
Right.
Because like when Trump was in office, we were hated because of him. Like especially in Europe, places like the UK, they hated us because of Trump. But
I
now,
don't think the
well,
UK hates us. Not after
No.
Brexit, but you know.
well, I feel like Trump, yeah.
I think what made Trump so beautiful as a president in like a lot of these domestic disputes that don't involve America was the fact that he was unpredictable as a president. So
Yes.
you don't know if he's
was
basically bluffing when he says Kim Jong-un has a red button, but his button is like much bigger than his, and he will obliterate him.
Okay.
You don't know if that's a bluff, right?
Bigger, huh? We all know who's the smallest.
Right. So that was the beauty about Trump, where it was a smokescreen. You know, you couldn't tell if he was being actually accurate or he was lying. And I like that about Trump. I think that was one of his strongest points.
You like his big button?
His giant, massive red button.
Massive.
I do like it. Yes.
It's ironic.
Massive.
He's orange, so
yeah, orange red go together really well. You know.
Well, yeah, well, you know,
complementary colors.
Yeah, well, what's red plus yellow?
I don't know. Orange.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Oh, so you're saying Kim Jong Un and
yeah. You know what I'm saying.
You know what's also red?
Huh?
Russia.
Oh, facts. No, but they're also like
So-
blue and white though.
So Trump and Kim Jong Un made Russia.
That's, I still can't remember
Okay,
this last
maybe we
podcast
should
episode.
move on. Yeah.
Yeah.
52 left, and then it's over.
All right. Don't know how to tie it. Oh, yellow. Speaking of yellow,
Ah!
Republic moment. Good transition as always, guys.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah, me
so
too.
I'm sure everyone's aware of Donald Trump's legal issues
Hand
in
me the
America.
barrel.
Oh really? He has legal issues? Never heard of it.
Yeah. You know,
What?
it's
No,
crazy.
it's not like he's being persecuted by the law for.
Sorry, I've been watching too much of Taylor Swift watching the NFL. Sorry, my bad.
Right? So, you know, he's been really persecuted. I'm sure you guys haven't heard of it. That definitely has not made frontline head news. Anyways, Donald Trump, he's got this judge in this case because obviously when you're in a courtroom, you have to have a judge, right? And this judge is definitely impartial. He definitely wants to make sure that the law is applied equally to everyone, and that the sources trust the Democrats. And he's also totally legit. This is also a totally legit trial that's impartial, equal to everyone. Trust the Democrats. And the judge is definitely taking the job very seriously. And the source of this Twitter video. So let's just go take a look at what the judge is doing in the courtroom.
So far, all of your sources have been trust the Democrats, and here's a Twitter video.
See, ever since you've been saying trust, I really trust these Democrats, you know?
Yeah, you know.
You keep saying trust.
You guys are really going to trust them
Oh my
after
god,
this.
okay. It's funny because this topic on our script is called Banana Republic Moment.
Yeah.
Alright, hold on, let me see this.
There's a camera in that courtroom. Was that supposed to be, or would they just be simply ushered out when we're gavelled to order?
Well, you're more likely to have cameras in state proceedings, and so it's up to the discretion of the judge. And quite frankly, I'm not too sure that both parties would want this. I think that Trump views this, the optics of this, as working to his advantage. Look, people looking at this live picture right now will be either filled with rage or they will be thrilled. And that's the problem. Is that, you know, you have James now being shown in the background, you've got Trump in the foreground, and it fulfills the narrative on both sides. Trump is...
You know, I'm sure the judge is taking this job
very seriously.
Very impartial in the situation.
Everybody,
you know, he's from New York.
Everybody in that room was either, like, resting bitch face, you know, Godspeed Trump. And then, or just like neutral, right? You know, and there was this one lady, like, you know, fucking staring at him. But other than that,
that was the lady who brought charges against Donald Trump.
Oh,
I was
shit.
wondering why they zoomed in on black, the only black person there. I was like, is this kind of racist?
That's wild. Okay. But I gotta say, the one person with a smile on his face was the judge, and he was just like, you know, he was doing that fucking the shrug. He was like, I don't know, man. Evidence speaks for itself, you know.
Yeah, you know,
very clearly impartial, you know.
I'm assuming I'm sure he's assuming that he's innocent until proven guilty, right, guys? That's
totally
the mentality in the courtroom.
That
right,
is
guys?
definitely how the American law works.
Yeah,
innocent until proven guilty, guys. Come on.
Especially in that courtroom.
Definitely.
Very true. Yes. Just trust us, guys. Come on.
I think he's really just like waiting. I think he's so happy because he's just waiting to prove that Trump is innocent.
Oh yes, in a New York courtroom
Definitely.
where most of the people there vote Democrat, and Donald Trump is
Definitely.
not a Democrat.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
the thing is, it's like we've seen multiple times on the podcast today, right? We should be expecting Democrats to give out a helping hand.
Oh yes, especially with Matt Gaetz like that, and the whole Speaker McCarthy thing. That would totally true. Democrats really got the Republicans back there. Yep, for sure. This is definitely not satire, guys.
No, this is definitely just how the world works.
Yes, indeed. I don't know how to transition to this next topic.
I think you could definitely make the claim that many on the right overstate how corrupt the government and the legal system actually is.
For sure.
And I actually think that's true. But when it comes to Donald Trump, even if Republicans are wrong about the amount of backroom dealing that is done to suppress Trump, even if they are wrong, you cannot deny that judge, if that judge is playing by the fair rules, even if that judge is hoping on an emotional level that Trump will get charged and that this will be the win, this will be the excuse necessary to discount any of his ideas and any of his followers as traitors to the American empire.
True.
Yep.
That sounded a lot more menacing than I meant, the American empire, but you know what I mean, right? Like,
Yeah.
No,
I don't know. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Next topic.
Next topic. This one's lighthearted. I think at this point all the rest of them are lighthearted.
Yeah, we're past the downer stuff, guys.
Yeah.
This is where most of the clips will happen, because this is where we say the most racial slurs.
He's lying, guys. He's lying.
Yeah, we're not
or is
racist.
Speaking of racist, Hassan Piker.
Oh, why the fuck are we talking about Hassan again?
All right, so
God.
this is just like a funny moment because Hassan Piker had his uncle, Cenk Uygur, who owns the Young Turks. Everyone knows what the Young Turks is, right?
Yep.
The news organization.
Mm-hmm.
Hassan is definitely self-made, definitely, and he didn't get a start on the Young Turks. Continuing the not sarcasm. Regardless, if you guys don't know, just for the viewers, Hassan is a Twitch streamer that's a self-proclaimed communist. I think he uses the term socialist, but I don't think he knows the difference. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, and honestly, the thing is, socialism in practice is always devolved into a totalitarian state, and the communism does the same thing. So they're basically just the same ideology in different stages, kind of like HIV and AIDS.
Yeah. Speaking of HIV and AIDS, go watch our TikTok short we made.
Oh no, not the memorial one. No.
Anyways,
that was very unfortunate.
So I just put a clip here. It's Cenk basically schooling Hassan Piker, like basically telling him, hey man, crime is an issue, and you not acknowledging it is not a winning issue for Democrats. And we can just watch it really quick. I think it's quite funny.
It's not recidivism.
You're just talking past reality. You guys are going into the... Hold on. You guys are going into stores. Guys are harassing people on the streets, etc. And they're walking, brother. They're walking. And that's why they're coming back and doing it again and again and again. If you say that's not happening, you're arguing against reality. And that's exactly what I'm saying here. Us, that's not reality. That's not the reality that I live in. Crazy, man.
No. Saddens me to see you go along with mainstream media narratives that are inherently reactionary.
Haas, you're not living in reality. But if you think a general voter watches this and thinks that they would vote for you, you're totally detached from reality.
Mainstream media narratives that are inherently reactionary. Oh my god. Okay, I can respect the mainstream media hate right up until you realize why he doesn't like the mainstream media, and it's because apparently CNN, MSNBC, BBC, they are all to reactionary. So reactionary in the sense of like sort of like phobic to progressive politics. So conservative. MSNBC and CNN are too conservative for Hassan Piker. It's wild.
And the irony in his statement is he basically suggests they're not wrong, they're just reactionary, you know. So it's stupid on all levels.
So his uncle here is like, you know, working off of this is what literally happened. This is reality.
Yeah.
And Hassan is going off of what are the politics of the person who did the thing, right? Like how is this relevant to my political angle? How can I make this about left versus right?
And Cenk is more on the left than Hassan Piker. I mean, that's just a fact.
Oh, and by the way, all of the comments in this fucking stream are delusional reactionary brain. Like,
yeah. The Twitch chat is definitely
so brain broken. Like, bro, it's all just people like going down on Hassan's glizzy. This is wild.
I know. It's funny. It's like these people have never gone outside and seen true crime on the fucking streets. They're inside, fucking sitting on their Twitch streaming and living in this utopia, unrealistic world. It's ridiculous.
It's fuck Hassan Piker.
Also, all of these people are like mentioning it in the stream chat. It's like prison for stealing ? Petty theft equals life imprisonment. Oh my god, that's such an overreaction. You're so reactionary. Yes, you should go to prison if you steal.
Yes,
because the alternative is a society that is low trust and permits theft. Honestly, part of me is kind of like, if you steal from me, you won't have the opportunity to go to prison because you'll be dead, right? But
then you'll go to prison in California.
Because that's that's just California, but and many other blue states because they are inherently at least running on some level of anti-property or devaluing property rights ideologically. It's not based in reality. It's not based in utility. It's based on ideology and principle. I say it's based on principle. That's usually a good thing. But if the principles are bad, then so are the outcomes.
Yeah, and what was my thought?
Also, I love how Hassan has fucking 7 different Twitter X tabs open. I know you're a streamer. I know you got a lot of things to look at, but bro, close some fucking tabs. You are wasting RAM on your computer. He's running Chrome. He does not have the tabs to spare, bro.
True.
I don't know. Whenever I be looking at multiple stuff on Twitter, I always close the previous tabs because I do not need to bounce back and forth on 7 different things. It's overkill.
Same.
That's kind of a nitpick, kind of separate from the politics side of things, but just I don't know. Hassan's an idiot.
Yeah, Hassan is a grifter for sure.
Well, that too. No, he absolutely is an opportunist. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. Yeah. If he was just an idiot, that wouldn't be so offensive. But no, he is absolutely
a grifter.
Yeah, a grifter. Absolutely.
He reminds me of a guy named Vosh, one of my professors.
I don't know. The thing about Vosh is Vosh is also a grifter, and Vosh is very bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Okay.
No, Vosh is worse. That's my
Vosh is worse. I don't know if I agree with that. Because the thing is, Vosh has at least pretended to disavow overt tankies. You know what a tanky is, right? I think I might have explained it on the podcast before.
Yeah, go for it.
Basically,
I'll give my explanation. Yeah.
Basically, a tanky is it's okay. There are multiple different reactions to what people think about the USSR. if your reaction to the USSR is that it was good actually, or it wasn't real communism because real communism hasn't been tried, cope, you're a tanky. It refers to a stereotype about sort of Soviet communist totalitarians who are only invested in politics because they're obsessed with tanks and World War II and Cold War, right? Vietnam. And so how this is relevant is like tankies in this discussion refer to like overt communists, not socialists, not demsocs, not anarcho-communists, full-on totalitarian Soviet Russia was good communists, right? And Vosh has at least on multiple occasions publicly denounced tankies and that ideology. So, in my opinion, even though Vosh is harder to suffer through in terms of his actual content, like I have less patience with Vosh than I have for Hassan, just because he's just his rhetoric is absolutely intolerable sometimes. I still think that Vosh is ideologically better because he has to have that sort of cognitive dissonance between his socialist beliefs and his anti-communist rhetoric.
So let me tell you why I think he's bad.
Mm-hmm.
3 reasons. Number 1, he's a libertarian socialist. 2 oxymoron.
Yeah,
it's an oxymoron.
It's an oxymoron.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Number 2, I think Vosh, even though if he's faced with reality on a topic, and he acknowledges that, or in his mind he acknowledges that it's wrong what he's saying, he will still continue with the point just to be right. And number 3, he actually debated my college professor, who I'm quite close with, and yeah, we've discussed this a little bit. So I have my own, I guess, gripes with Vosh.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's my opinion. Of course, it'll vary from person to person.
I mean, look, Vosh is bad. All right, Vosh is absolutely a grifter, a manipulator. You could say a lot of the similar things about Hassan, though. But I would say
there's overlap.
There was a lot of overlap. I think to whatever extent I think Hassan is worse isn't by much.
Right.
They're both just kind of pieces
apples
of
and oranges.
Well, sorta.
Yeah.
It's the difference between, like, I guess going on the analogy, a rotten apple or a rotten orange. You're both, either way you're eating rotten fruit,
Yeah, true. Speaking of apples, Snow White.
What?
Good transition there?
I guess.
What?
Isn't there like an apple in Snow White or like a fruit or something like that?
Yeah, when the evil witch, the
Yeah.
mother gives it her.
Good transition.
It's not a white apple, you fucking tard.
What do you mean?
It's a red apple.
I never said white apple, bro.
Yeah, you did.
I said, speaking of Snow White, apple.
Apple like the company?
It was like comma and then apple.
But why
Because we talked about apples and oranges. You know what I mean?
That's
no, I don't.
Retarded shit.
Alright, guys. Tell us in the comments if you like my transitions.
Rant about fucking Matt Gates.
You know what? Okay. If you made it this far into the video, I want everybody in this part of the video. If you hate Sons of Liberty and you just there's no saving us. There's no hope. I want you to put a black heart emoji in the comments. We will spotlight anybody with a black heart on the podcast, and we will tell you that your life is worthless and you should kill yourself.
Speaking of worthless people, Rachel Zegler.
Autistic shit. Anyways,
take it away, Sunnyhawkeye.
So Rachel Zegler is the person who's supposed to play Snow White, which they've already filmed. So I don't know why the fuck they did this, but she's fired. They heard our cries that are hate for her because she was kept on shitting on the old movie and all that. And honestly, good riddance. I'm right, boys. We talked about Snow White 2 episodes ago.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
is this another tally on the Get Woke Go Broke list?
Yes.
There's a tally. We have a tally. For
Yeah,
that?
we're keeping score.
We are. What's the score?
Probably like 0-1. We're losing.
I'm
No,
gonna be
no,
real.
it's probably something along the lines of like.
Bro, get woke. We are broke, bro.
I would probably say we're looking at like 10-10. It's pretty
10-10.
It's equal.
Who have we gotten? We lost, bro.
Who have we gotten? We got Bud Light.
Oh, we got Bud Light. 1.
Whoa.
We got like half of Target.
Bro,
Like,
we got Bud Light. We got
Target counts as like half.
Target counts as half. Okay, Gamergate was 1, right? Like Gamergate was like huge.
Sorry,
won
2.5.
I mean, to be fair, that was a while ago.
It's like 2.5 to like 300. You know, we're getting there. You know.
Yeah.
It's almost a 1% split. You know,
bro. This
on our side.
This is the red wave. This is the red wave. We're coming back.
It's come back, bro. Come back.
The comeback king. Yeah.
Anyways, so she got fired. Yay! Finally, fuck that bitch. Honestly. And guess what, guys? They're not calling. You know how we kept shitting on the 7 dwarves in the film?
Yeah.
And how everyone in it was just shitting on it because it's like not even short people and they're like mixed. Guess what? They're changing the name, guys. They're not the 7 dwarves no more.
What are they called?
It's honestly way fucking more retarded, but whatever. It's
Sure.
the 7 fantastical beings.
Oh no!
What the
bro,
fuck?
Okay, Chao. You know what? I think
the 7 fantastical beings.
Chao. I think the point that you gave yourself, you know, with the go woke go broke crowd, is automatically lost because they went woke with the fucking dwarves. Okay, so it cancels each other out.
No, they're gonna go broke because of it.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Everyone, they still hate the moving because like.
Bro, okay, Barbie.
It's not Snow White anymore.
Barbie was the get woke go broke story, right?
Not really.
That's a loss on our part, though.
Yeah,
was it,
bro?
Well, no,
yeah, because it made way more than Oppenheimer, like way more.
To be fair, I think they were serving different crowds, but yeah, Barbie was successful.
What do you mean, bro?
Sure.
Oh, I see. I feel like they did the same crowd because if you're a Chad like me and KYKA, we went to see both movies the same day.
Oh, facts. I still haven't.
So we're Chads. You haven't? Why not? What's wrong with you?
Never got the time.
What do you mean? You do servers all day? You can't have it in the background?
God. On the podcast too, bro? That's crazy.
That's it, bro. That's it. We're gonna plan a day. Me and KYKA are going over. We're gonna watch. We're gonna bring big ass speakers.
You know what? Bet, bro. Bet.
Sure.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's watch Oppenheimer.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, back to Snow White bullshit. Yeah, everyone's hating on it, and like even people who are dwarves are hating. Like the guy from Game of Thrones went on a huge rant on how like dwarves, like IRL dwarves that we have, should not be called dwarves, and I'm like, why? You're literally a dwarf, bro. Just stay dwarf.
Honestly, you know what? Honestly, we should really just take the like sort of the fantasy world approach, the D&D approach, and just call them all halflings.
Is that what they're calling? Is that what they're calling D&D?
Well, I think so. Well,
I don't know. I don't play D&D.
Yeah. I gotta look this up. Okay, halfling.
Isn't that just like half one?
Yeah.
So how is that half?
Okay, so then that's halfling, and then what is a dwarf?
Dwarf is a short.
Oh my god, they're the same thing.
They are.
They're the same thing. Oh well, no. Okay, sorry. That's actually mistaken. They're completely different things, but they're both in D&D. Okay.
Okay.
That's wild.
That is crazy.
They're both short.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So am I. Don't worry.
Believe me, I know.
Hey guys, I got a funny meme like in the chat I'll put. You know, just I was scrolling Twitter. I just saw this really quickly. I just thought it was funny. So the meme reads for all the audio listeners: "Can a woman make you a millionaire?" ? And a guy named Xavier answers yes! ! If you're a billionaire.
That's true. Women do use a lot of your money.
Yeah. Very true.
As you can tell, we are very experienced in the women.
With women, yes.
Yeah, especially King Chao, who was very, very experienced with
He's
women.
very infatuated with the woman body.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of bodies and humans,
No, I swear. Use this for the next topic. If you use this for the next, I'm leaving the. I will leave the fucking call. You better not use that as a fucking trans. No, fuck off. Speaking of oopsies that we made, Bungie did an oopsie recently.
right, Bungie, who is a game developer, the most notable IPO right now is Destiny 2.
What do you mean? No, bro. It's freaking what? It's not Destiny 2, bro. It's Moonwalker.
I think right now it's
bro.
Destiny 2.
No, bro. It's Moonwalker, bro.
I don't even know what that is,
Eh.
but they're also known for making games like Halo, the Halo franchise.
Yeah, Halo, Bungie, old Bungie.
And they're working on a game called Marathon. It's in the works right now. Anyways, so Bungie had a little bit of an oopsie recently because they went on Twitter, or X.com now, and they made an interesting tweet, which I'll highlight for you guys if you want to take a look, but I'll read it for everyone that's listening on audio. They said, and I'm quoting them directly, being Latin/A/E/O/X.
You gotta say it how it's like len E len O len X. You can't say it slash. You fucking.
What do you mean? That's how you read it though.
No.
Yeah.
Why do you ever read that? Something like that, bro.
You can't read it like Latina, Latini, Latino, Latinx. You can't read it like that.
You can. You just
It's
did.
//. That's not how it's done. Anyways, being Latin/A/E/O/X is more than just a location on a map. Just as being Hispanic is more than the language we might speak. We are proud to introduce our newest IDEA Latin at Bungie. Now, let's just get something clear. Number one, Hispanic's not a language. So Bungie did a little bit of an oopsie there. But number two, this tweet got ratioed so bad that it has double the amount of quote tweets than it has on their likes. And it has 17,000 replies with only 5,000 likes. So, and also Twitter notes they added, not even descendants of Latino migrants in the USA like Latinx or Latin E, Latin people or Latin person would be correct. Latinx and Latin E are suggestions by people who don't understand Latin languages or foreign culture, which
exactly
very true. I may add, Latinx or Latin E, form of imperial, excuse me, what's the term? Linguistic imperialism. Basically, white Americans decided they wanted to make Spanish a more inclusive language, so they added that shit. It's ridiculous. And also, Hispanic's not a language. I can't believe they fucking missed that one. That was like...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I get how you can miss the Latin X if you're woke, like Bungie, but Hispanic being a language is wow.
It's kind of funny because it's sort of, it's a very mask-off moment that they see the entirety of the Latino community as just being Mexico.
Right. That's true.
And I will say, most Americans probably also think that way just intuitively because, again, Mexico is the closest like Latino majority country, right? Like most other examples come from Central and South America, and there isn't a whole lot of contact between North and South America that I've observed in like a major way, in comparison to what happens between Mexico and the United States, which is a lot.
And to add fuel to the fire, they also started hiding replies because
awesome.
They were getting so much hate in the comments. It was really bad.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They got ratioed like so many times. It's ridiculous. I mean, you can't even count on your fingers. That's how many times they got ratioed. And yeah, just it's a company going woke. And in this situation, Chao,
and then
we
going
can add it to
broke.
the tally.
Yeah, we can add it to the tally. See,
Yeah.
I told you.
So we're at 2.5 now because we lost the tally for the recent one, but now we've gained it back. So 2.5 to 300. So yeah,
yeah. Conservatism in 2023 be like.
See, my issue with this, like everyone knows who's watched the podcast, I've hated Latinx and Latin E. This whole movement is such bullshit.
The thing is, Latin E is better because at least it's compatible with.
But it's not correct.
Language.
But it's not.
But
correct.
it's not. No, it's not. And the thing is,
because like we as Hispanics have come together. We made this Latino. Yes, it's gendered to be for males in the cult like language, but to identify a group of Hispanics from Central and South America and Mexico, it's Latinos. Like I don't understand this stupid ass
Yeah.
Latinx bullshit. Like it's honestly the most retarded shit ever. My brain hurts. Just hearing it and just the amount of woke bullshit that this has become is just honestly like really frustrating for people in Latin culture, Hispanic culture. Because like for example, I saw this video on this guy who's wearing a white guy wearing a poncho and sombrero. And he goes to this college and asks people, "Hey, is this offensive? Is this cultural appropriation?" And they're like, "Yeah, this is offensive." They're getting triggered. White people getting triggered for Hispanics.
No
Then this guy
surprise.
goes to an Hispanic strip where they sold like Hispanic goods and stuff, and you ask people there, "Is it offensive?" And they're like, "Nah, let's go, Viva Mexico or Viva whatever." Like they're saying, like where they're from. And I just find this like why are white people getting so triggered for other people's like other cultures, right? Like
Because
same thing I've done to the black culture. White people
yeah,
will get mad at other white people who are like for the black community when it
yeah.
shouldn't be that way at all.
I mean, you could argue that's what BLM is. That's like most, if not all, of what BLM is as an organization. It's just a bunch of self-hating white people who are like, they feel like they owe black people like not just reparations in a monetary sense, but repentance on a cultural sense,
Well,
and it's stupid.
BLM is for me, I see it as a money grab because
Oh yeah, no, it is absolutely
yeah.
a grift.
At this
It is
point,
absolutely
yeah.
a
Yeah,
money
especially
grab.
because the founder bought like what multi-million dollar
Yup.
houses for
I
both
wonder how
her family members
I
and all
wonder how
that.
she paid for that. You know,
Oh, what do you,
somebody
oh
should look into
shit.
that. You know, maybe.
I bet it was off someone's not breathing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was through someone's shoulders.
Also, I just want to mention, and this might make, like our one sort of leftist viewer. By the way, you're a trooper. Thanks for holding out in there. You know, you have my respect. If you can sit through all of these episodes of us just bashing your ideology and not leave, you don't exist. But just in case, you know, respect. But you know, this is also the case in English too. I would argue that English is a little bit more of a naturally progressive language because it doesn't assign gender to objects. It's just the universal gender neutral article of the. But here's the thing. Even in English, up until 10 years ago, if something was gender neutral, you just called it like if you're talking about a person, the default is him. Cry harder. The default when gender is applied for English and Spanish, the default is him. And you can even see it in the structure of how we classify the sexes. Man, woman. As a modifier of man being the baseline. Man is the baseline, man is man plus was the modifier, right? So man is the default, woman is the specification. In pronouns, he is the default. She is the specification if you were talking about a woman specifically. You assume you were talking about a man, and if you were talking about a woman, that is an automatic easy correction. It's not, it is pro intuition as opposed to the trans stuff, which is inherently anti-intuition. No, they is not the default. They is for groups. He is the default for English. Cry harder. Modern day, if you call somebody a he without knowing their gender, you are slandered as assuming. But the fact of the matter is, that's what humans do. All of our language is built around assumptions and optimizations so that we have to think about little tiny flourishes in our conversations as little as possible. That is how we have conversations that are buttery smooth. as long as you know the language. But leftist subversion is actively making that harder. It's actively trying to slow down language. You can't just say, oh, that girl is pretty. She has, very nice hair. You can't just say that. You have to say, that feminine looking person, or, God forbid, you have to say like, they, them over there has very nice hair, right? And then even then you can't say that because it's sexually objectifying, God forbid. And then of course that's contradicted with fucking OnlyFans people. The point is, if you want to do some real praxis against the pronoun people, your best bet is to start really realistically go back to using male as the default. And if anyone gets mad at that, that's kind of their problem, not yours. They is not the default. They is an imposition on the language, like Latine and Latinx. It does not belong in that context, and it's a lot more like Latine because it at least makes sense, sort of. It's improper syntax, but it is at least functional within the language. But fundamentally, that's not how the word is supposed to be used. If you are talking about somebody and you do not know their gender, it is he. Because the S in she is the modifier to specify that it is a woman. And if there is no modifier, it could be a man, it could be gender unknown. Doesn't matter. It's he until assumed otherwise. And that is how the English language works. In Spanish, objects and people, are either masculine or feminine, but when you're talking about groups, it's Latino. Masculine default. Because it is he and then e. That's just how the Romance languages are structured. You want to call it patriarchal? Okay. That's kind of a problem with the original creations of language, though, isn't it? And so you have to, on some level, admit that you hate English, that you hate Spanish, and that you want to overwrite those languages with your own new syntax.
Yeah, it is linguistic imperialism.
It has to be.
Yeah, for sure. Chao gave a good synopsis on it.
And so I do not trust anybody who says Latinx seriously. Because they hate Spanish. They hate how it is structured. They hate how it is formed. They would rather see it radically restructured from the top down to fit their morality.
If you guys want to know something funny, apparently a lot of Amish people were ousted from their communities yesterday because if you didn't know, there was a national alert that went out on people's phone. And a lot of Amish people who had phones in secret, their phones went off. And so it was, a lot of people found out that they weren't actually adhering to all the Amish principles.
God forbid.
Yeah, so that's funny.
It's kind of interesting to me how the Amish are like the only example that I can think of nowadays of people who are like actually living out the return to monkey principle, but like unironically.
Yeah.
And even still, they still have like all of the technology that is pre-digital,
True.
Well, not all of it. I mean, obviously they don't have cars.
A lot of it.
But like, they basically anything that's pre-industrial. I feel like Ted Kaczynski would probably be proud.
Yep.
That was a little bit out of pocket. YouTube, I do not support the Unabomber.
You don't? Oh my god, no way.
What? Okay, now we're taken down. It's over.
Yeah, no, we do not support the Unabomber. Let me just make that clear.
We don't?
Unabomber is human trash.
What?
Although his ideas are interesting.
What?
But he's human trash. Human trash. Yeah.
Anyways. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
All of my individual friends. Thank you for watching the Sense 11.
You have friends?
You do?
You have friends?
I don't have friends.
I have friends.
Oh shit.
Name one.
You.
Cap.
Not Cap.
That's Cap, bro. Stop the cap.
Welcome back to Factor Cap. Today we're going to determine whether King Chao XI is friends.
What? I'm so confused. My brain just
Let's just end the episode before I get a brain hemorrhage.
Sorry, dude.
We've been recording for 2 hours. Okay.
2 hours again.
Back at it. At least it wasn't 3 hours. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
It was 2 hours and 1 minute. This is a good episode.
I'm host with the most.
What?
No. He's host for the most now. Like,
wait, did we even do an intro for the episode?
Sort of.
Yeah, we did.
It was scuffed.
I don't remember.
You're still recording, right, Chao?
Yeah.
I'm your host with the most.
What the
I'm
fuck?
also a Dirty Z2 casual, and season 2 is never coming out.
What the fuck?
You're so gay.
No.
I speed ran the fucking outro, dude. I speed ran it. I literally speed ran it.
This is character development.
Bro,
now
this isn't Dream Does Destiny, bro. You're not gonna speed fucking
Sunny,
run shit,
we
bro.
just have to come up with new catchphrases. It's perfect.
Oh, you're right.
Okay,
Down with the.
Okay, so I'm King Chao. And I love Jews, guys. I'm not anti-Semitic at all. I think that Jews are awesome people.
Guys,
that's my new. That's my new. So what's my new?
And I think Italians are definitely not dirty white people. Yeah.
Great. Now I have no one to say I love, bro. You guys took the only racials, bro. The only thing I can say now is my own people, but like that's cringe, bro.
I mean, you could say those people, but they get hit it enough, don't you think?
Oh, you're right. I love Indian people. I love their curry, the curry powder, and
curry powder.
What else are they known for?
Smelling great.
No, they don't.
Fighting an endless war with China.
They are?
I think.
I've never heard that.
Maybe it's Pakistan. I don't really give a fuck.
I think it's both at this point.
What's the difference?
So, Pakistan and India, there's not a lot of difference. So,
is there like a place called Bangladesh that's not part of India?
Isn't there a place called Bangladesh? You know, somewhere on the map.
Isn't that the capital though? Or am I stupid?
I think you're stupid.
Okay, well that's it for Sons of Liberty. I've been King Chao. Season 2 is never coming out.
It's the capital.
Guys, come on, wrap it up.
No, I think it's not the capital.
Oh no, it's a fucking country, dude.
Yeah, that's what I told you. That's what I said. You're the one who said it was the capital.
You said I don't know if it's in India.
Yeah, well, maybe you're the racist.
It sounded like it was India.
Maybe you're the racist one, KYKA.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Jews can't be racist. We run the world.
What?
Worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Entire generation offended at everything, getting mad that a human thinks all lives matter. We don't need black or white or left or right. What we need is common sense. We need balance. We're all in the same boat. Why you trying to make holes? If they sink, we sink. This is madness.